Do you suffer from anxiety, from depression, maybe even chronic pain? Well, listen up. Truth Be Told is going to tell you about a breakthrough program built on over 100 years of therapies used in America's returning veterans to help you successfully overcome PTSD, anxiety attacks, pain, and depression. The secret proven in study after study. Music therapy. The effects of music are nothing short of amazing. From strokes to PTSD, music has been shown to improve the quality of life. Now, one of the latest music therapy programs being used in America's veteran hospitals can be yours to experience for free at home and to help your own anxiety attacks, pain, and depression. Or just relax after a hard day. It's called Whole Tones. It takes music therapy to a new level. This revolutionary program makes use of specifically designed frequencies that have been shown to stimulate your body's natural healing power down to a cellular level. If it works for battle-scarred vets, can it work for you? Well, experience it for yourself for free at sweetwholetones.com. Like Tony Sweet, that's SWEET. Go to sweetwholetones.com. Now enjoy the show.
What's your thoughts on government cover-ups or covert societies attempting to control humanity? Do you believe in ancient astronauts, intergalactic communication, or extraterrestrial visitations? Ever had an experience with disembodied spirits or the paranormal universe? Are these subjects fact or fiction? Each week, Tony and Eddie explore these unbelievable realities and beyond. Exclusively on Truth Be Told.
Hello and welcome to Truth Be Told with Tony and Eddie. I'm your host, Tony Sweet.
And I'm Eddie Connor. Today we have one of the world's leading numerologists joining us.
That is right. Glynis McCants is in the house, and we're going to be talking numbers.
That's right. Glynis has been studying numerology for over 21 years. Her unique method is based on the Pythagoras number system, which is more than 2,500 years old. After evaluating approximately 15,000 numerology charts, she wrote her first book, Glynis Has Your Number, which quickly became the best-selling numerology book in the country and has been translated into 15 other languages.
You remember her from her appearances on Coast to Coast with George Norrie, The Dr. Phil Show, The Today Show, Nightline, CBS, The Talk, The Dr. Oz Show, and The View. That's just to name a few.
Glynis McCants is convinced that when we have someone's name and date of birth, we can discover exactly who they really are. What is equally exciting is that by knowing our own numerology blueprint, we can focus on our strengths and overcome our weaknesses. And to help us overcome those weaknesses, please welcome world-renowned numerologist Glynis McCants.
Oh, wow. We're getting the party started before the show even gets going. So, Glynis, thank you so much for being here.
So good to be here, really. I'm so glad to see both of you. You guys are such good people, good energy.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, first of all, Valentine's Day is this weekend, so we're going to be talking about love through numbers. And but before that, we always introduce the people that have been on for the first time. How you got started in numerology, because a lot of people want to know that.
Absolutely. So what I would tell you is that numerology, my heart was broken. I was 19, went to see what I was told was a psychic. She was not. She was a numerologist.
Oh.
And she was like, you're not missing that man, the one I thought I loved. She goes, you missed the mother and sister because they're naturally matched to you. They're compatible to you in numerology. And when she said it, it made perfect sense because I really was missing them. They meant the world to me. But the minute she also said it, it stopped. The pain went away after 2 years of pining over him because I really wasn't happy with him. Like I actually broke up with him, yet I was heartbroken it ended.
Yeah.
And so after that, I picked up a book on numerology and I learned the basic numbers. I just read the numbers 1 through 9. And I could read anybody from that day forward, and that's a fact. And because that was true, I realized, oh, this is my life purpose. This is part of my calling. And the biggest turning point was when I did KFI Talk Radio after 13 years now. So that's 13 years later, studying numerology, doing reads. I would say, kind of practicing and having breakthroughs. Yeah. So then I wound up doing a radio show, and I just mentioned numerology. I was supposed to be on for 20 minutes. The lines went berserk. I was on for 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. And right after that, I ended up with 2,000 reads from that one show. 2,000 readings. And back then, when you start, You know
Yes,
this.
yes.
You're ridiculous, right? I'd have people outside waiting for the read and 1 hour sessions charging barely anything, but I talked for 2 hours because I was just so excited. Well, you get over it.
After 2000, you're like, what's your name? Get out of here.
Well, you just realize you got to have boundaries.
And you deplete.
You do. You can get drained. Now, for me, it was lovely because I was able to write my book, Glynis Has Your Number, through all that research. But the other thing is my reads are very concentrated. Like if I do a 40-minute session, it is, you can imagine, action-packed. You get everything you need to know. But that way, it's not draining to me or you. Yet I give you tools to get on with your life. I do not want people to be addicted to following me that way.
That's the way to
I
do
do not do
it.
that. I write books, numbercity.com. I've got the books and the CDs and the newsletter. And that's all content to help you get on with your life. That's what I do.
And also, one thing about you that a lot of people know, and I think, did you do stand-up?
I'm way past funny. It's a true
Well,
story.
because we've interviewed many people, and we love everybody, but not everybody has your personality.
No. And I am. I'm a double 3 triple D. I'm sure I've thrown that at you, but I really am. I am a 3. Just know this, for everyone across the board, if you're a 3 life path, you can, again, look up your life path. The 3s are the natural comedians, so we do see the funny. You know, no matter how upsetting it is, how crazy life gets, we always find the funny. And in my case, I was born on a 3 day, the 12th, so 1 + 2 is 3, and the full birthday is a 3. So that's doubly true for me, but it also means called to communicate. So it could be humor, but it could also be writing. It can be motivational speaking. And I've been blessed to do all of it.
And very well.
Under the umbrella, I know, of numerology. So it really was a life purpose thing, but we all have it. So I've got to look at yours. Let me just tell the audience something about it.
Okay.
Oh,
Shall we?
Tony,
Tell me
Tony,
something.
Tony.
Tell me something good.
Okay, you know what? It's so funny. Okay, Eddie.
Uh-oh.
The most important numbers come from your birthday.
Okay.
Because you can always change your name. People change their name all the time, right?
Yes.
And it's going to give you new energy. But in your case, you don't want to touch that name, by the way. Eddie Connor is a perfect name for you. It's extremely compatible to your numerology. Now, here's what's fun. I'm going to just tell you what it is. Write these down.
Okay.
Your numbers from the name 336, born on an 8 day, just so say, and then 2 life path, put a star by it because that's your life path number.
Okay.
And then 3 attitude.
Okay.
So if you said to me, 3, 6, 9, and 2 are numbers that approve of you, meaning they're compatible, but also 2, 4, 6, 8. Well, if you'll notice, 3, 3, 6, 8, 2, 3 are all compatible energy. None of it's toxic. So that means you understand you just fine. Like you get it. And that's why it really hurts you when people don't understand. Like, you're like, where are you coming from?
Yeah.
Because you try really hard to be a clear channel. You're like, I'm just telling you what I feel. This is what is true. Now, because you're ultimately a 2, you're very, very sensitive.
Yeah.
And you do get hurt. You know, so you have to be so careful with boundaries. The analogy I have for a 2 is if someone fell in a well that you care about, they're like, help me. You jump in and say, what's wrong? Oops.
Instead of dropping the life.
Yeah,
rope.
you drop the rope or the ladder and say, I'm going to help you when you get back up here. But you don't do that. It's natural to fall in. I'm sure you've gotten better at it because of what you do for your work.
Yeah.
But 3, remember I said it's all about laughter. You love to laugh. You know you've got, you know, if someone's funny, you're sitting right next to them.
Yep.
Or you're cracking the joke.
Yeah, it's
right?
true with Eddie.
Oh, no, you look for the wit and the humor, but also communicating. See, the ugliness, like what we're dealing with right now, if you want to look at like politics, let's say, that hurts your heart.
Yeah.
Because negativity gets us nowhere. Negativity is a small way of communication. It is positive energy that expands it, that helps us grow, that helps us believe it's possible. Anyone can be negative. And I say hurting people hurt people, right? So if I'm hurting, I want to hurt you. You're not about that.
Yeah.
You know, you're the opposite of that. Now, Tony, on the other hand, loves to hurt people.
I love it.
Now, Tony,
Only in the bedroom.
yes, darling. Tony you have the 5 in your soul, which means never a dull moment. That is where you have so many ideas, like almost too many. Like
My
the
dull moments is when I think. Well,
the human popcorn machine. You know, just your brain is percolating. So you have to find ways to calm down. I do find meditation would be great for you. Yoga, anything where you can just calm it down. And affirmations, I'm such a fan of that because when we do panic, because you're definitely very intense, business matters. If you do affirmations to calm that, you're going to feel a lot better as you go on this journey. 6 means taking care of others. So you're very responsible for other people. Like, you're like, guys, I'll get it taken care of. And if things fall apart, you're like, we'll fix it. We'll fix it. When it's quiet, you don't know what to do with yourself. That's not a happy Tony. It's like, wait, am I missing something? Right? And so that is you. And then you got the 2 for intuition. So when you trust your intuition, it doesn't fail you.
Exactly. No, I agree
Yeah.
with that. 100%.
And then going to your birth numbers, your life path is an 8, which is a natural match to you, by the way, which explains why you guys can work together. It's like,
Wow.
yeah, let's put it this way. Someone else could be in this room, and if you guys didn't agree, you'd lift an eyebrow and know what each other's thinking.
We do. Eddie,
You
look at me.
see?
Yeah, sometimes we don't even have to look. We're just like,
Yes.
Yeah, it is
But they
true.
don't, so they don't know. It's almost a signal like, okay, we'll talk about that later. You're not going to do it in front of them.
No.
But you do pick it up that quickly because it's a natural match. It also means when stress happens, when we get panicky, we actually become our life path. So you hope that it is a natural match because it means you almost do well when it's under pressure. Like, wow, look, we pulled that off. And then with you, born on a 7-day, you're an observer. So even if you were talking to me, you're kind of aware of everything else that's happening in that room. That's your way your brain works. And then attitude number 1 means you strive to be number 1 at what you do. So you really take pride in doing a good job. And no one has to push you. Like, it's not about pushing him, but it is about encouragement. Again, I'm sure there's times if you feel pushed to the wall that you'll speak the truth, and sometimes people can't handle it. And then you're like, look, I
She's
was
psychic.
You're like, I was just telling the truth. I wasn't trying to be rude, but this is how it is. Because you don't suffer fools well, And the
all.
ones who has an excuse over and over, oh no. You're like, you need to leave. Yeah, we're better off parting company because it's hard for you to
Did you
get
read
over
my
it.
journal?
I know, right?
yeah, you would have if he had written it.
You're right. That's the truth.
But it is mentally going on all the time. I mean, you don't forget your stuff. You got a lot going on up there. And I would say, if you could, not necessarily a journal. I'm a big believer that if you're a communicator, if you get your digital tape recorder and just tape your thoughts, smart idea for you to just purge some of the things that's going on up there and listen to it once and then hit delete. It'll calm your mind down. Yeah, that is something I do. I have to do it that way because you can't sit there writing all your thoughts. You feel like you're running out of time. It's like, I don't even have time to do all that.
Right.
But you would talk it. Talking's easy for you.
No. I used to actually sit and write poetry.
Yes.
Because something would just urge, like an urge
Right.
to write it. I'm like, and once I wrote it, it was
You
fine.
were
I
done.
was done.
You purged it. Got
Yeah,
it out of
and
your
I
body,
haven't done
out
it
of your
for a long
system.
time, but well, you said something about compatible.
Yes.
What are some of the numbers that would not be compatible to Eddie and I?
Well, how it works
Six,
is,
six,
again, I would do a
six,
chart.
six.
Yeah, the chart comparison. So let me see what I have. Let me grab his.
And while she's looking for that,
yeah.
I've known Glynis for a long time.
Yeah.
We've done some things where they were pitching TV shows and stuff, and Glynis comes in and just blows the roof off of the house. And she knows her stuff in a way I've never seen anybody else. And it's like she's downloaded by aliens or something, and she just like shoots it out of her heart at you, and you better be ready.
Yeah. Well, I say you can run, but you can't hide, right?
Yeah, right.
And I mean, there's never been a day that I thought, oh, is that right? You'll never hear me say, is that right? Never. And you won't hear me say, or you won't hear me. You won't. You
Unless
won't
she's
hear me
meditating,
think about
and that's
it.
an
It's an om. But I'm very direct, and I know it's a clear channel, but I have tremendous faith in God. I'm a girl who prays every day. Before I do any read, I do prayer.
I do
when I'm
too.
in my car, I do meditation. So I don't take it lightly. And I think that's what goes wrong with some people. Their ego gets involved. So they think it's them. Oh, look at my gift. It's like, your gift? Oh, no. Clear channel. Heavenly Father, with you, I can do anything. Without you, I can do nothing.
Right.
Please be with me at all times. And when he is with me, I got it made. And that's why I don't ever wonder. I don't. But it is a clear channel, and it is intimidating.
Yeah, it
For
can be
people
for
who are
people
afraid
who are
of it.
wobbly
Yeah.
in their belief system.
Yeah. So let's look at this real quick with you. 5, 6, 2. See,
And for those
7,
people,
8,
there's a few people in
and
the
a
chat
1.
room that would love to know if you would be willing to take a call or two.
Of course.
So if you're in the chat room, we'll let you know when to call in. But definitely, Glynis is the real deal.
And you know what's crazy?
Yeah.
is I grew up in a 919 area code.
What does that mean?
It's just a 919 area code before you could dial the home number, and they changed it when I was 25 to 336, and those are the first three numbers she gave me.
Really?
And I see that's one of the signs from my mom in spirit is when I get a 336.
All right. I'll tell you, like, you don't have much in the way of challenges, by the way. You're pretty compatible. But where there is a challenge, do you ever feel like he doesn't tell you the whole story? Like,
I love you. I love this woman.
I do that on purpose.
Oh, well, keep on putting your foot in your mouth.
It makes you crazy. It's like, you did not tell me the whole story.
And therefore,
and then when you find out later, you're like, God darn it, if you had just given me, if you had just told me what was up, I would have been fine. I don't like secrets. I don't like surprises. And then with you, you're like, I was thinking, like, you're just in your head. So you weren't trying to be, it wasn't about being malicious, but you do have mystery, and you don't want people knowing the whole story. You don't want them knowing the whole, your business, but that makes you nuts. So you asked me what the challenge is. Voila.
Yeah, when you ask me a question, I would like to answer it based on the totality of that which you be asking me.
Yes.
No, that is true. And I mean, people I've even dated in the past. It takes me a while to fully 100% open up to somebody.
Well, the other thing is you proceed with caution. You know, you have a lot of fear. As a matter of fact, when it comes to humans, you don't trust a lot of them. You just don't. And why? You have enough evidence to support why you don't trust them.
Right.
But when you decide to let them in, your heart's huge. I mean, you'll open up.
Right.
But because you're psychic already, you can feel there's something going on he didn't tell you. And then when it shows up later, you're like, God darn it.
That's exactly what I say.
But Eddie's one of those people that I feel that I can open up to.
Well, no, but remember, he's unique to you.
Yeah.
You only have one challenge. Here's how it works. There's 6 numbers that make up a numerology blueprint. 3 numbers in the name, 3 numbers in the birthday. If you have 1 or 2 challenge numbers, you can agree to disagree. No big deal. That's you guys.
Yeah.
If you have 3 challenges, you're working hard on the relationship. If you have 4 or more, you have to ask yourself, is it worth it?
Right.
See, is it even worth it?
That's a great soundbite.
Well, because it also it promotes chemistry. The more challenges, the more chemistry. But is it healthy? You know, I always say when the communication's bad, we go physical. So physical could be, okay, when a man's like, hey, shut up, let's have sex instead. But it also can be when it gets violent. Yeah. You know, the breakdown, all of a sudden you punch him because they didn't hear you. Not healthy. So I do not encourage challenge number relationships, but what I tell people, let's say they're married with children, I give them advice on how to understand each other better. And by having those tools, they can coexist. And I've had people transform their marriages. Like they were on their way out and they healed it through the numbers. And on that note, I will show the book.
Thank you.
Do it.
Yeah.
And I have it right here too.
Love by the Numbers.
It's a beautiful
but it's
cover
also
too.
how to find healthy love or reignite the love you already have. So, and of course, I'm living proof.
Yeah.
You know, I've been with my husband 13 years, but Charlie is my best friend. I mean, it's to the degree I love him, it's ridiculous. Like he's my get-to. On the weekend, we can spend the whole weekend together. The only lament is that it's over. I'm like, oh, it's already Sunday. It's that much fun. And we both have lives, you know. He's got a career, I have a career. So we work on stuff, but somehow it just has a beautiful rhythm. There's none of this, well, what time are you going to be home? And where are you now? None of that. And then, of course, we always have the romance. And I will say, I'm going to throw this out for those who are thinking of robbing my home when I say I'm going to Vegas. My husband's brother's a police officer, and he'll be staying at the house all weekend. So think again, grasshopper.
Well, I'm going to ask you this. When you said you're together 13 years now, that would be a number 4. Does it make a difference in the numbers of years you together?
No. People have to be careful not to go number crazy.
Yeah.
Like people write me and say, oh,
That's
my
good.
social
That's
security
good
number is
advice.
blank. Does that mean something? I said, not really. And if you wanted to, sure. I mean, you can become addicted to the point where you're bringing out everything going, wow. And that's fine. But I don't believe that because what I've done with numerology is I help you pick a good day to schedule something that's important to you. Pick the person. Are we compatible? In business, should I do business with this person?
The best time to go pitch a book that you want to sell to a publisher.
Or surgery. I'm a biggie on that. If you have to have surgery,
good.
that's already scary. But if you can pick the perfect day to do it, do you know how many love letters I get? With like, Glynis, it was knee surgery. He said it would take 6 weeks to heal. 2 weeks, I was fine. Wow. And they thanked me for the energy of the day. But back to my husband, there was a point. We always celebrate I'm such a big fan of love and date night, but we're hitting Las Vegas, and we always do. And guess where we are on Valentine's night?
Where?
We're Britney Spears.
Oh,
The what?
We are at Britney Spears' concert, my friend. Yes, I don't have a gay man who does not love
baby,
it.
baby.
I love her. Oh my gosh,
Yeah, I
don't
got
get
lots
me
of
started.
friends dancing for
How
her.
about row B? I mean, right there to the
Wow.
stage. No,
Now that's
and
love right there.
Not cheap, my friend.
That's right. You'll be able to know
No.
if she has a yeast infection.
Honey, well, that's ugly. I mean, I don't think it'll upstage my own yeast infection. So maybe I won't even notice. But the point is, it's wonderful because I'm a big fan of a lot of her music. And I've never
too.
seen her in concert. And of course, you hear about lip syncing. I don't care.
I don't care
The
either.
music puts
Yeah.
me in the best mood, and it is Valentine's. And that's what he did for me.
Oh, that is sweet.
Knowing that I'd lose my mind. he's hooking me up. And that's where we are Valentine's night. And then, of course,
Beautiful.
after that,
It's going to be
summer romantic.
the heart-shaped bed and
The jacuzzi. Oh, and he gets, I massaged this guy. He hurt his foot on January 2nd. He's a 4 life path. 4s learn. They get hurt in ways that I don't. That's energy again. They just, things go wrong. You know, they have to be careful not to go, what else could go wrong? But he rolled his ankle and it's been sore. And I got this cool ball thing at Sport 5. And when I massage, he's in heaven. And to me, that's what love is. You're supposed to make an effort. You know, if your partner's hurting, you got to go out of your way to help.
Right.
You know, and that's key. But also we talk numbers because I said a 3. The 3 and the 4 is a challenge. Like our numbers are great together overall, but our life path's a challenge. That means when we get stressed, we don't handle it the same way. So he'll say to me, the 4 in me has to talk to you. I'm like, oh God, the 4 is going to talk to you.
oh.
Yeah. I'm like, gotta get ready for
But
the
the
4.
6 is going to kiss you.
Want to know what's funny you say that? His numbers are 369 646. He's got a ton of 6s.
Yeah.
And 6 is, let's put it this way, 369 are the most compatible numbers to me. 369 646. So that means 5 numbers are mine.
Wow.
So do you know when I'm stressed? Let's say I've had a bad day. He will hug me. He'll hold me, and it melts out of my body. His vibration melts it out of my body. So come on, it's so good.
So on that note, is it possible that numerology can help you attract your soulmate?
Absolutely. More than attract, you can be proactive and get your soulmate. So I'm going to look straight
me
at the
write
camera
this
for a minute and tell you
down.
about this. What happened with me, I was matchmaking the planet, helping one else. And I'm like, what about you, Glenny? And I had been married early on, early 20s, and it was not a good thing for me. Good guy, but complicated.
Right.
And heartbroken, raised Catholic, and I'm a huge believer in love and certainly marriage, but it just wasn't meant to be. So I was so busy helping everyone else, and I kept getting this intuitive voice that I should sign up, like do a dating site, and just run charts.
Yeah.
So I did. Numerologist looking for a man who's really got my number. And
That was good.
one guy applied, many men responded, but one guy before that lied about his birthday. Imagine that. To the numbers lady. So I thought he was perfect numbers, but nothing about his personality matched what he claimed. And then finally he came clean a couple weeks later and said, look, I just don't look my age. He pulled a girl, right? He lied.
His vagina fell right out of his mouth.
Yeah. He's like, well, my birthday is blank. And it was like 8 years different. I'm like, oh, thank you for the truth because you didn't make a bit sense. And of course, technically his life path was toxic. What it turned out to be, which made sense. Now, mind you, to this day, we're friends. So that's what's funny. But it wasn't funny when I was liking him.
No.
Right.
And then Charlie, what happened was he was kind of pursuing me, and I thought to myself, I'm going to give that guy a chance. I'm going to see, give him a call, just see what's there. Oh, my goodness. It was like 9 o'clock at night. We talked till 3 in the morning. What I did not know and certainly know now, Charlie actually goes to bed around 9 or 10 and gets up at 4. That's military.
gosh.
He's just
He
from.
must have likemed you.
He really did. Like he went to Annapolis, and that's that military time.
Yes.
Unbeknownst to me, he was that willing to do that. And then for months, like deliberately for 4 months technically. Let's say we started talking in July, did not meet in person until November. November 23rd, I remember it well. And it was 2002, right? So anyway, he comes in and he was so darn cute. It wasn't funny. What happened was he was working out every day, waiting for that date, waiting for the date.
Well, yeah.
So by the time I met him, he was amazing looking. He was just fit as a fiddle, and I was a wreck. But I had all my friends around me because I was nervous, and and they all really liked him. So finally, I work up my nerve, drinks later, and I say to him, oh, I meant to give you something. He goes, what? And I kissed him. The kiss lasted 45 minutes.
Wow.
It was a nonstop. And when he left, he had lipstick all over his face. It was hysterical, but that's how it began.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And how do you know if the numbers are for soulmates?
Well,
or
here's
just...
how it goes. Just as I talked about where your challenge was, let's say you were a couple. I'd say, hey, guys, here's where you have to work on it. And then as a counselor, I'd say, you really have to tell
Right.
him so that he doesn't feel the pain that he ends up feeling. That's what I do. But you can see it. Like this book, Love by the Numbers, lays out the chart. And then each chapter defines it. So the soul number is defined. Personality number,
Right.
it tells you everything you are and where you're different. Really, so it's a guideline. But again, if you have 4 challenges out of 6, famous example, Reese Witherspoon, remember her first husband? How they looked perfect, but they were so toxic.
You could
I didn't
tell.
even think they looked perfect.
Well, no, but they looked alike.
They were beautiful.
They looked alike.
Yeah.
I should
and
put
they
it to you
met
that way.
filming and
Yes, but no. So, and, it ended. But the point is, I could see it on paper. Halle Berry, Halle always brags, I'm going to stay married, la, la,
Bless
la.
her
But I
heart,
look at her
child.
chart, she always picks the wrong guy. And it's never healthy for her. They're always violent, angry. Someone's always getting punched.
allegedly.
Yeah. Well, remember the guy when he punched the person at paparazzi just recently, the one she broke
and
up
then
with.
the other one that beat up the other husband.
Right.
Yes. No, that's the same husband.
Okay.
They were only dating at the time, and it was Thanksgiving. So now, if you want to ask me, what about Halle Berry, Glynis? Why would she even be like this? You want the answer?
Yeah.
Born on a 5-day, and the dark side of 5 is loving drama, and drama goes where they go. 8 life path. They learn the hard way, so she keeps repeating a pattern. She has not learned her lesson, and they love the image. These men tend to be very good looking.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, like the model, right?
Yeah.
But not healthy for her. So that's, if she learned numerology, she could break a pattern. Absolutely.
I was going to ask you that because I know,
Absolutely.
and I know, like Eddie giving psychic readings, he says you can always change your future, but with numerology, you can't change a number, but you can change.
You can
Change the
see. You
behavior.
can identify your numbers and know how to deal with each person. That's
Yeah.
all. Knowledge is
Okay.
power.
That's
Yeah.
great.
This is all about knowledge being power. I deal with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like I, obviously deal in business. I'm from a family of 13.
Oh my gosh.
30 nieces and nephews. I deal with energy day in and day out, and I make a note. If it's a challenge energy, I'm like, okay, I know what to expect.
Right.
Doesn't make it easy, but it makes it easier. Like you feel better going, okay, now I get it. You're rubbing the wrong way, but it's not personal.
Mm-hmm.
You're just a challenge to my energy. But wouldn't you rather, if you could, pick someone who isn't?
Yes.
Like my Charlie?
Yes.
Wouldn't you rather hang out with someone where it's like heaven on earth? Where I literally thank God at night and say, Heavenly Father, thank you for Charlie. And I mean it. And as strong as I am in personality.
Yeah, you're
it
living
doesn't-
it. You're every time you speak about Charlie, it's like a wave of love comes out of
Yeah,
you like a
you can tell.
wellspring.
Yeah.
Looks
and
like
that's
you just
something
met.
You cannot fake. And I always say it's an extended honeymoon. And it's 13 years. So that
13
I'm just
years.
saying, I believe it happened for me because it can happen for everybody else. But I am a guide. What I do, the way I teach it, when I teach the workshops. And again, inviting people to sign up for the free newsletter at numberslady.com so they know when they can take a class and learn more about this.
And that's at numberslady.com.
Correct.
Okay.
And not the Number City. That was taken by an accountant years ago. Yeah, it's Numbers Lady.
And of course, her number was 666, and we will have her killed.
That's that's right. So
Yes.
what we're going to do, we're going to take just a quick break with our sponsor, and we'd love to have you stick around. We have the world-renowned numerologist, Glynis McCants, and she is phenomenal. We're enjoying it right now. So don't go anywhere. This is Truth Be Told with Tony and Eddie. I'm Tony Sweet.
I'm Eddie Connor.
And this is...
Glynis McCants, the Numbers Lady.
That's right. We'll be right back.
A head of cauliflower costs more than a gallon of gasoline in most areas. The FDA doesn't require food processors to tell us where our food comes from. What's worse is some of these garden seeds you purchase in the stores have been crossed with bacteria known to kill certain insects, therefore making every cell in the plant a pesticide. Fact: you can't wash these pesticides off before eating. By selling hybrid or genetically modified seeds, the major seed companies make more money knowing the farmer will have to buy their chemicals and seeds every season. What is the answer? Heaven's Harvest. Heaven's Harvest offers 38 different varieties of seeds to plant in your own garden. Heirloom or non-hybrid vegetable seeds have not been genetically modified or altered in any way. These seeds have been used by gardeners and small farms for generations and will continue to grow a healthy plant year after year. These are the seeds by God's design. Go to truthbetoldseeds.com and order yours today. That's truthbetoldseeds.com. Truthbetoldseeds.com. Get your heirloom kit and be secure.
You can get your kit right now, and you can have it shipped directly to you in a gorgeous little bucket. It brings you peace of mind today and, of course, food security. Order now at truthbetoldseeds.com. That's truthbetoldseeds.com.
All right, we're back. This is Tony Sweet on Truth Be Told with Tony and Eddie. I'm Tony Sweet again.
I'm Eddie.
And we are here with world-renowned numerologist Glynis McCants. We are so glad and honored to have you in studio with us. Well, you know, this weekend is Valentine's Day, and there's a lot of people out there that are looking for love. Yes. And, you know, I've dated many times myself. And in fact, the last 3 years, I have not dated much at all. The fact is...
What's it called now?
Well, it's called a hookup. That's all it is.
Okay.
But
just so I understand.
Let me tell you something. There are times to get involved. There are times to open your heart up, okay?
Okay, give me. I'm writing this down.
And a personal year of one right now, and actually one means you. It's about you right now. What can I do to be in the driver's seat of my life? What can I do to kick my career to the next level?
Right.
What can I do to make money? Next year is personal year of 2, and it's all about love. Real love. Yeah, like a real partner. Like someone comes in and it makes really good sense. It's lovely. It's a you can't beat that cycle for love. Yeah, so that it is a timing issue.
Rodeo.
Yeah, and let's go further back. Last year you went a cycle of 9, so that was more about clearing space for new beginnings. And the year before that, when was your breakup? When was the
3 years ago.
Yeah, but what can you give me a date?
I think it was like January. It was January. I don't remember.
By 2000
was it 3 years ago? 2013.
2013. So that would have been a 6. Okay, so in that cycle, you were in a cycle of 7, which was really looking inside yourself. You had to take inventory. You know, you had to reassess all of it. Who am I? What am I? Why am I here? How long did you date that person?
Oh, not very long. A couple of months.
Yeah, but it affected you enough that you had to get back to yourself. So now, do I believe you have to actively affirm for love? Yes, gentlemen, I do. I have a CD called Affirmations to Attract Healthy Love, because you can't attract what you've never had, and you can't attract what you don't know. You've got to get your subconscious to believe it's possible. And by doing it daily, these CDs are awesome. It flips that. Like, you won't just meet someone to love, like a real partner, but friends. Like, people will treat you better. You'll meet people on the street who want to help you. You know, like when I start doing it, I'll walk in, someone opens the door. I mean, even the last time I came here when it was a mess and I was late, everything opened for me. Well, I was doing that. Like, they let me park right where, right in front. They guided me there. That's affirmations to attract healthy love, because we all need love.
Yeah.
But if you've been single that long, it's not like you're ugly. I mean, you have one tooth that's kind of
but that's it.
But besides that tooth, I saw it before you put the fake ones in for the show.
Oh, don't tell them
and
that.
the wig works. The
I
wig
love
works.
it. I got the William Shatner special.
You're not unattractive, so it's not about that. But it is about fear. Fear. I don't want to care too much if someone's going to hurt my heart again.
Right. No, I agree. I agree with you.
So this year I would be working on that, like doing the affirmation stuff, and then in that new cycle, it could completely happen and be a long-term relationship.
And this is one of the questions that I want to ask is, what is a personal year cycle? What does that mean?
Okay, and I'm going to make this clear. I marvel because numerology, what surprises me, when I started doing it, remember, 1995 is when I did the KFI Talk Radio.
Right.
I was it, right? Eddie?
Yeah.
I was the numerologist.
Beyond.
Yeah,
Because that's when I got to town, was in 95.
Right, but then social media showed up, and then, quote unquote, a lot of numerologists seemed to show up. And some people would read my book. They'd read one book and say, you know what, I'm doing what you do now. I'm like, that's interesting, because I didn't even, it never even occurred to me to think I could be professional until 13 years of researching.
Yep.
But you bought a book, and now you're doing it? So, that's a level of... What I want to say about numerology is never wrong, but the interpreter can be. See, my gift is interpretation. Like when I interpret you guys.
Yeah.
Someone else could read this and not pick up what I just did, right? They could read it all wrong. But basic numbers don't change. They are what they are. And then the gift is intuition, and they come to life. Numbers dance for me. They don't sit still. And that makes a big difference. But yeah, when I started, I was it. Now there's a lot of people who do it, and that's great. But some of them want to say, this is how you do it. And if you don't do it our way, you're wrong. And it's like, where did you come from? So let me tell you what I know and why I know it to be true. Personal year cycle. When the year begins, the new year, I say the personal year shifts on January 1st. Why? I want you to think how you feel when you wake up on January 1st. What does it feel like? You say to yourself, I will not go through it with what I went through. I will not do what I did last year. I need to do it different. You feel a shift. Well, that shift is vibration. So you take your month and day, reduce it to 1 digit, and add it to the world number. Now, this year is particularly easy because whatever your month and day is reduced to 1 digit is also your personal year cycle. That's unusual. And that's because it's the world number 9. So I'm going to give you a little lesson on numbers. First of all, 2016, 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 6 is 9. When you add 9 to any number, it reduces to that number. Example, 19. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 29. 2 plus 9 is 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. 39. 3 plus 9 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. So 19, 20, 21 just became 1, 2, 3. Do you see how 9 went away?
Yeah.
And that's a magical thing. I mean, the number 9 is amazing. I'm a huge fan. You can do so much research. There's a lot of research on the internet that shows you how interesting that number is. Like, even the fact when you times it with something, it always adds up to a 9. So, like, 9 times 3 is 27. 2 plus 7 is?
14.
No. Try again.
Oh,
9
2
times
plus
3,
7. I'm timesing.
Right,
I'm
but
sorry.
9 times 3 is 27. 2 plus 7 is 9.
9.
9 times 4, 36. 3 plus 6 is 9.
Oh, that's nuts.
Isn't it?
Why do I keep wanting to jump to multiplication instead of addition?
Well, here's the good news. It's why I'm in business. I don't want you to be good at this.
Good, because I'm terrible.
I'm not looking for talent, kid.
She's a numerology
I want
agent.
people always being shocked, going, "Well, how did you do it?" Exactly. How did
It's
I
like
do
the
it?
Houdini of numbers.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how 9 times 6 is 54? 5 plus 4 is 9. So that's just the number 9. It's a trip. It is. Like you add and reduce, it becomes the 9 disappears. But then you times anything and it becomes a 9, no matter what it is.
That's creepy.
I love it.
That's like numbers alchemy.
It's really fascinating. Now, what is 9, by the way? Why don't we want to know, right? We want to know what's in store for this year. This is a time for clearing space. This is about bringing things to completion. So if you've been working hard on projects, you get a payoff this year.
Amen, sister.
Oh, Lord, I saw Jesus.
Yeah, and how about this? I'm going to give you an example. Peyton Manning. Peyton is a year of
39.
9. But he's in a year of 9 this year, and look what he won. He won that Super Bowl. Let's be honest, he's barely played. I don't even know what happened with that guy on the field. He had a lot of trouble, right? Those guys were grabbing the ball right out of his hand.
Yeah.
But the defense, the bottom line is he won. And even though he's been injured, he's been through so much, it also means time to move on. It's bringing it to completion. So it really is time for Peyton to say, I did it. I punched the ticket, and I'm leaving on a high note. If he chooses to come back, that's just a mistake.
It is.
I think
It is because
you-
but it's also his physical body doesn't want to. But isn't that a beautiful thing? Like it helps us
Right.
know, oh, that's what happened.
So when the cycle's complete, most people probably have a tendency to want to stay in this
Yes.
instead of go to the next
To
stage
the next
of
level.
evolution.
I mean, there's something he could do. Gosh, he could be on any sports network. Who wouldn't be intrigued with what he's got to say? He's a good man.
Yeah.
But to stay in the game, he had to stop playing during the season because he got hurt. And then he came back and won a Super Bowl. So why would you test your luck? Who wants to go that high and then leave on a low note?
No.
We have about 10 minutes left.
Okay, well,
And,
want to do some fast food reads on some callers? Do you have any?
Let me see. Let me
See
put
if
them
you
out
can
there
grab
real
someone?
quick. Oh, yeah. Actually, John's in here. Let's do
But
John
I'm
real
not-
quick.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Because I promised some people.
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
I'm
Well,
saying.
then call in. So if you guys are listening in right now, please call us at 323-284-7826. I'm going to go put that in chat room. If you're listening in, please give us a call. And while we're waiting for those calls, I was going to ask because somebody asked earlier in the chat room about they keep dreaming about same numbers.
Okay. Now, I just did this really cool show. It was actually 2020, and it was about the Powerball. And one gal, well, actually, it was a guy. He woke up and heard these numbers. Like he dreamed them, and he had them. And his cousin said, "You should play those numbers. Those sounds like lottery numbers." He won the lottery.
Wow.
So I love stories
Wow.
like that. But another gal, she did the whole visualization thing. She was all about The Secret, and she really envisioned that she'd win $112 million, and she wrote it down on a piece of paper and everything. She won $112 million.
112 million?
Yeah, but here's the joke of it. And I knew this by her numbers. She had numbers that told me even if she won that money, she'd still have trouble with the money. Sure enough, she was filing bankruptcy. Now, mind you, it wasn't Chapter 11. It was like Chapter 13, so it was like rearranging the money. But yeah, she wound up in trouble because, and you know what she spent it on? Like $200,000 worth of purses, Bentleys, silly stuff.
That's crazy.
But it happens, right? I
mean, it happens all the time.
So she visualized something, but she didn't. She
didn't follow the visualization with the feeling in your gut that you have to hold consistently to hold.
And guess what else you do? When you win that kind of money, you give to charities.
Yes,
you give to good people.
Right.
Yes, you do.
Not these people who come out of the woodwork and act like, oh, we're family, you owe me. It's not that. But you have to give back in a really nice way. So what I was getting at is the number came to him. So if you dream of numbers, I say play the lottery. If those numbers come to you, why not? As long as it's not scared money. You know, just keep it simple. You paid a couple bucks and won all that money. But I think it's numbers do not follow you for no reason. There's always a reason.
Well, one thing that I always see, I when I look at the clock, almost
11:11?
No, 12:07, which is my birthday.
Oh, okay. No, I love that you brought that up. It absolutely means something, and it happens a lot. When your birth numbers show up, it's checking in with you, saying, "What are you doing with your life?
Really?
Have you done your life purpose? What are you doing? Are you there yet?" It's asking you what's going on with you.
Yeah, this almost every day I'll look at the clock and go, "Oh, it's 12:07."
That's like a monkey on your back. You know, it's like bugging you. Yeah, like what's happening? What's the next step? What's the next level? It's a reminder of yourself, and it's reminding you to get back to you. Like maybe sometimes you're so focused on all these other things, you forgot yourself. In love, I would say that's absolutely been true for you. It's one thing to have sex or, have fun. That's not.
They call them hookups, Glynis.
Yeah, hookups.
I learned that today.
Yes, but it's not enough.
No.
Not for what
No,
you
God,
want.
no.
But I'm saying when you see that, honestly, it's reminding you about you, getting back in tune to you. Yeah.
And what's funny is I've been thinking like I gave up working out and hiking and all these things that I've been in my head for the last 3 years going, you need to go back because
you really have to, and I'll tell you why. When you have a one attitude, which you do, that number, that endorphin release is the most healing thing you do. Like it makes you feel so happy. It's so important that you do that for that particular numerology number. If you don't, you don't feel good.
Yeah.
You never feel 100%.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And can numbers, and I'm sure they are, and I'm just going to say, can numbers also translate to animals?
Oh, yes. I mean, in my other book, Glynis Says Your Number, I have a thing called Naming Your Pet by the Numbers. I mean, you got to have a psycho pet. Are you kidding? A little freak who's a 5 or, a nutty pet, and then you change the name and change the energy. You're changing the personality of the pet.
So let's do this. I had a St. Bernard named Lady that was an angel on earth, and then I want to see what Cujo's numbers are.
Well, Cujo, you asked for it. Stephen King will tell you those numbers. What were you thinking?
Yeah, Cujo. Lady was an earth angel. She literally was my best friend, and then when she was murdered, literally somebody shot her and killed her.
Oh,
it was hard. I mean, because I'm like, oh my God.
No,
it was
going to be so mean. But let me tell you, Cujo, is Cujo still around? Or in prison at this point?
Oh, I have no idea. Probably just lives on in DVD history.
Okay. But when you talked about Cujo, did you really mean the movie dog?
Oh,
I thought you meant your dog.
No, my dog's name was Lady. My St. Bernard's name was Lady.
The second dog was Cujo. I said, that's what you get for naming
No, I would
Cujo.
never. I wouldn't even tease a dog.
All right, well, let me
that.
tell you, and this would be true if you named your dog Cujo. It's the number 4. They're very stubborn. They don't do what you want them to. They decide, and they think they're in charge. They run the house. So if we want to go to the movie, it wasn't hard for the name Cujo to leave them all captive in the car. He decides when you get out.
And it was a Ford Pinto, for Christ's sakes.
What about nicknames?
Nicknames matter too. It's all vibration, guys. If you learn the basics, you'd know that. By the way, 876, 6 is nurturing and taking care of you. That dog took care of you. That dog took care of your heart.
Oh my God.
So
I need to put that
sad.
in the back of my memoirs, by the way.
That's what it was.
Oh my God. And by the way,
And was family.
That dog was family. Listen, there was a time where Mama got in the car. She put all 3 of us boys in the back before my baby brother was born, Doodlebug.
Yeah.
And she put us in the back of the car, had to pick Dad up at the textile mill right after 11 o'clock. Lady, the only time Lady ever did this, jumped in the back of the car, laid in the floorboard, would not get out. Mom was hitting her with a broom.
Yeah.
She was trying to get her out.
Oh, my God, no.
Lady would not budge. Mom was scared she was going to be late. She gets in the car. We live in North Carolina. No street lights. In the 60s, single woman. And then she's driving along to work.
Someone was in there?
And no, there was a big 4x4 truck with deer headlights
Oh, my
on it that
God.
flashed her, pushed her off the road
Oh,
into
no.
a back dirt road, side road.
Oh, my gosh.
And then there were two of them walking up toward the car at
And
the
the
same
dog
time.
went
And the
berserk?
dog went crazy and acted like Cujo. And they took off, went back to their trucks and left. And Lady never did that again.
Okay,
and
how
that never
scary
happened
is
to
that?
us.
No, but see, protective of family. That's
Yeah.
a whole
Oh,
different story.
look.
No, it's true. The 6 is the nurturer who takes care of others. The 4 is stubborn. So, Cujo was stubborn. The energy is. But the
Yeah.
point is, I have that in the book. But also naming projects.
great.
You name a book, you can name a book that's successful. If it's toxic to you, it's not going to be. And nicknames, you have to find out what are they getting out of it? Like sometimes someone will nickname you, let's say, where they want you to be a 2 because 2s are so accommodating. Well, they might be taking advantage of your goodness. So if that's true, you don't want them to call you that nickname anymore.
My dad
if
called me
if the name
Boner.
you go by, what is it?
Boner.
Boner.
We're back to hook
That
up.
sounds promising.
That's my daddy. My dad
But
called
you-
me Boner.
when
He didn't
people-
hook up with me.
When
Well,
people
we're out
call
from
me
Kansas.
Ed, I just have never liked the frequency of the name Ed.
Yeah.
I'm not an Ed.
You
I'm
don't
an
seem
Eddie.
like an Ed.
No,
No, but so what do you go by then?
Eddie.
But that's not
and
your
Eddie,
first name,
But
though.
Eddie is a kind
Yeah, no.
energy, right?
I-
Let's just see.
I want to
Here's
say I am.
something else you need to know. How much time do we have?
We
that
have
can do
about
this?
6 minutes.
Well,
did-
no, about
4?
three or 4 minutes.
Really?
Okay.
Then I'm
Yeah.
going to teach you something. Unless you don't have a caller,
Well, they're all in the chat room, but they're not calling in.
that's
Okay.
so interesting. Well, my people are diehards on my Facebook, but like I said, who knows
Oh.
what happened there? I gave the number though.
Let me look and see if it's the right one.
Yeah,
I sent you the right. Okay, go
that's
ahead.
always a good sign.
Yeah. Well, somebody yesterday gave him the
Today's
wrong
the
number.
number of miscommunication.
No, 284. That's right.
Okay.
Oh, I love your Facebook page, by the way.
Yeah.
That looks great.
Oh, it's a great page. Now, scroll down and see if they got that. Because remember,
Yeah,
I told
it's-
you.
it's
How
the right
many-
number.
But look down there and see how many people saw it. Does it tell you?
No, they'll be on your side, but
Oh, because
people, yeah,
remember I told you they were messing with that.
Yeah.
Like they wanted me to boost the post, which is not fair to the audience.
No.
not at all.
Yeah, so if we had shot an email, next time we do it, we'll do
Yeah,
it.
you're gonna be
absolutely.
back. You're
Let's just
Oh,
do it
definitely
through Facebook.
please.
Okay, so going back to what I was going to say, I mean, you knew I was going to whip through Boner. Boner adds up to a 9, doesn't it?
Oh, nothing wrong
No,
with
we're
the
talking
9 boner.
about numbers, right?
I
Not
respect
inches.
that. If a boner's a 9, life is good. See,
Yeah.
look what you've done. You threw
Yeah.
me right there.
Look,
You-
there's another
You turned me into
secret.
Beyonce.
That's
The
right.
Red
Take you to
Lobster
the
for
Red Lobster.
everybody.
You even made
All
my
right.
face
I do
red.
want to
There
say
we go.
that your soul number from your first name does tell us something. So, like Eddie with the E means 5, no dull moments. You love to celebrate. Someone takes you to a party, you're so happy to be there. Good food, good music. You're just so much gratitude. That's your E from Eddie. Tony?
Tony, not Anthony,
With an
just
O.
Tony.
O is 6, again, king of the castle, rescuing the damsel in
you.
distress. Let me fix the mess. Let's get it done. But also, I'm in charge. And then yours? John with an O, same thing, wants to be in charge, run the show. It also means responsible energy, but nurturing. So if you do have pets, you need them. You need to have something you love unconditionally.
I love pets. I just
well, that's
don't
why,
have
though.
one.
And what-
It's nurturing.
And quickly, what is Dwayne? Because that's actually my first name. So what's the D in Dwayne?
Well, you don't go by it, so it wouldn't
Oh,
matter.
oh, good. That
Yeah.
makes me
It would
even
not matter.
happier.
Yeah,
Oh,
Eddie's
okay.
what you
I
go
get
by.
it.
Let me tell you, that's
Oh,
the
I
other
get
thing some
that.
numerology people say. It's only
Yes.
the birth certificate name. And I laugh and go, no, that gives you a destiny number, which is important. But the name you go by today is what you put out there. When I experience you, I'm experiencing Eddie. That is your energy.
See, look at everything we're learning.
Yeah, yeah.
What about Johnny with a Y?
What about
in
Johnny?
that instance, it doesn't matter because
doesn't
it's
matter.
the first vowel.
Okay.
It's the first vowel in a name that matters. So, like Glynis, the first vowel. Well, in this case, remember the A-E-I-O-U and sometimes Y.
Right.
And
The
W?
Y is when it's between two consonants. So
Yeah.
in my name, it's the Y energy, which is, although we know double 3, humor, la la la, but my 7 sees it all. The soul of me is spiritual, by the way. I told you my faith in God. The 7,
Yes.
when they have faith, watch out. There's nothing they can't do. So if you meet someone who doesn't have it, let's say you meet someone who does have that Y, Glenn, and maybe he puts a Y in there. If he's not a spiritual guy, he can be cynical. And there's nothing more draining. You know, when someone's
Right.
really trying to prove, like an atheist, let's say, they don't believe in God, and then they're mad that you do. It's like, come on. It's okay that you don't, but don't give me a hard time because I do. See what I mean? But a 7 energy,
Yeah.
I always say 7's either thank God or think they're God.
Well, I cannot believe how fast this hour went. You are
know.
just out of this world. You're
Thank
amazing,
you.
and please come back. And,
I will, I
And
promise.
next time we're doing 2 hours.
Yes,
If you
that
don't
would be
mind.
smart. No, that's the way to
Yeah.
go. And then we'll do calls. And
Yes.
if I'm on
Yes.
coast to
Yes.
coast, I'm on 3 hours.
Well, let's
2
do.
to 3 hours.
Next
always,
time
always.
we'll do 2 hours.
But yeah, and we'll get my peeps to come through because they're always
Yay.
trying to
Oh,
read.
awesome.
And for you lovers out there, or us single folks, go and get her book.
Love by the Numbers will
Yes.
change their life.
Yes.
I'll throw it up again.
And I like
Love
how
by
you
the
have it
Numbers,
all
but
broken
it's
down.
so great. I mean, it teaches you how to do it. But more importantly, it gives you tools. If you're in a relationship, how can you make it better? And if you're single, how do you find great love that's healthy? Healthy love.
And you go to
Numbercity.com.
numbersladies.com.
Yeah, numbercity.com. They can also look up their life path there, their attitude numbers there. It's all there for them.
I'm going to go.
Yeah, it's
I'm
fun
gonna
to
go.
just
Oh,
check
yeah.
out what's there.
Well, we love you so much.
Thank you.
And you're amazing. So everybody thanks Glynis McCants. Well, we're going to be right back. We have a next guest coming up here soon. So if you want to, if you just joined us or tuned in halfway through, make sure you go and watch this video on our YouTube channel. It's going to be up tonight. And then go to iHeartRadio, pick up the podcast, or go to iTunes, leave us a comment, let us know what you want to hear, and tell us how wonderful Glynis is.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm Tony Sweet.
I'm Eddie Connor.
And we are Truth Be Told with Tony and Eddie. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.